Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in. Now, it was a crazy week 5. Upsets, no more undefeateds left, and then you got still one team that doesn't have a win. It is time to get my power rankings for week 6 of the NFL season. But before I give anything, make sure you guys leave this video a like as I continue to help this channel to grow and to beat the YouTube algorithm. And my goal, and I'm going to keep saying this, it is to get to 6K subscribers before the end of the calendar year of 2025. So leaving a like will really help that. And also clicking the subscribe button and notification bell so you will not miss any of the content that I post. But without further ado, let's dive into it. Okay, here are my rankings from last week. But without further ado, let's just get right into these. Of course, as I start off with the teams with bye weeks, my motto, you don't play football, you can't move in rankings, especially in these. So the Atlanta Falcons had a bye week. I'm going to put them at the B tier where I had them. The Chicago Bears, my Chicago Bears, I'm going to put them at the B tier. Thank God I didn't have to stress out this week about the football team. Okay, get that out the way. Those damn Green Bay Packers had a bad week, and I had them as B as well, so I'm going to leave them there. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, I had them at the A tier. I am going to leave them there. But let's start off with Thursday Night Football with the San Francisco 49ers versus the Los Angeles Rams. I had the 49ers at A. I am going to keep them there. And the reason is Kyle Shanahan, he has proven one hell of a coach he is with all the injuries. Purdy, Ayuk, Pearsall, and Juwan Jennings, your top 3 receivers being out. You have Nick Bosa out defensively. This team has just been mortal with injuries, and they still go on to win a football game. They play really good defense. They ran the football solidly. It's crazy that they still don't have a rushing touchdown in 2025, but this team is playing some really good football. Then we go to Rams. Honestly, I'm moving the Rams down. The main reason I'm moving the Rams down is just they have inconsistencies at times. Whether it's defensive inconsistencies, whether it's offensive inconsistencies as far as their run game goes, in my opinion. Sometimes they all a bit inconsistent. I love this football team, do not get me wrong. But it's just, this is the game they should have won. Let's just be honest. We know the 49ers are well coached, like I said, but this is a game that the Rams should have had, especially at home, even though the Rams don't have much of a home field advantage, which I still don't understand the move to LA. But anyway, I had to move this team down. Next is the Minnesota Vikings versus the Cleveland Browns. I had the Cleveland Browns a D, even though Dylan Gabriel, it gave this offense some life. The insertion of him as starting quarterback gave this offense some life. And the Vikings, I had at B, and I'm going to keep them there, to be honest. I still think the Vikings are kind of an average football team. We'll see how things look when J.J. McCarthy gets back in the lineup, and then Aaron Jones as well. But I just believe that this football team in general, yeah, they've won the game. It's just, I think offensively, their offensive line has not been that great as far as pass protection goes. They got a lot of pressure on Carson Wentz these last 2 weeks. So our offensive line play has to be better. Defensively, we know what they can do. But Dylan Gabriel played a good game against his defense. Next, we're going to have the Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens. I had the Baltimore Ravens at B. This is going to sound crazy. I'm putting the Baltimore Ravens at a damn D. That defense is that bad, even though they have a lot of injuries. Defensively, they're bad. Lamar is hurt, so that doesn't help. And you're talking about a Baltimore Ravens team that sits at 1-4 right now. And who would have said that coming into the season? I know, like I said, there's a bunch of injuries, but that defense, even before the injuries, looked bad. And the Texans carved them to make them look even worse. And speaking of the Texans, I'm moving them up to the B tier. C.J. Stroud, I think this might be a confidence-boosting game for this offense. They ran the football solidly, but C.J. Stroud played one hell of a game. So, and then defensively, we know the Texans are one of their better defenses in the league. It's just, could the offense start to pick up some momentum? And I think this could be a game where that can come into fruition. Next, we're going to have the Miami Dolphins versus the Carolina Panthers. I had the Dolphins at C. Honestly, I'm going to keep them there for now because it wasn't like they got blown out the waters. They just made a few costly mistakes. And then the injury bug, Jaylon Waddle went down for a little bit. Tua had his issues, but I think defensively they played okay. It wasn't their best game defensively, but they hung enough right in this ball game. And the Panthers, I had the Panthers at the D, and I'm going to move them up to a C. And to think that they came back in this ball game, Bryce Young started to look like a different quarterback in the second half. Defensively, they started to make some plays. Rico Dowdle, in the absence of Chuba Hubbard, had a really significant day with over 200 yards of rushing. So, like I said, for the Texans before, this could be a little bit of a confidence boost for a team like the Carolina Panthers. Next, we're going to have the Las Vegas Raiders and the Indianapolis Colts. The Raiders are getting moved down to a D. Geno Smith looks like he needs to be benched. And then we're talking about their defense. Outside of Max Crosby, it has not been good. It has not been a good defense. They still get in their own way. Geno Smith turns the ball over and makes things even worse for defenses not really that good. I always said that secondary is a big question, and it showed. And the Colts, I'm going to keep the Colts. I am going to, this might be crazy. I'm putting the Colts at S, believe it or not. Number one, Daniel Jones has been playing some really good football. That's one. Two, when we're talking about this Colts defense, it has been looking like it's starting to improve it more and more to one of the good defenses, top defenses in the league. This Colts team, I think, by far is the biggest surprise of 2025. Daniel Jones is by far the biggest surprise player of 2025. So it might be crazy. I might be jumping the gun a little bit, but I'm going to put the Colts in the S tier for the moment. Next, we're going to have Next, we're going to have the Giants versus the Saints. Saints are still a D. Giants are moving down to a D. Saints got the win. Yes, they made some plays. Spencer Rattler got his first win as a starter. Defense came alive in mostly that fourth quarter. But with the Giants, they had this game. They struggled offensively, turning the football over. Jackson Dart with the interceptions. Defensively, they couldn't make plays. Saints got some explosive plays against them, especially with the Shaheed bomb. But this game overall, two bad teams. But for the good sake of it, the Saints came out with a much convincing win. I like Jackson Dart. Don't get me wrong. I like Jackson Dart. That's just still, like I said before, this season has just been turned out to develop him at this point. Just besides the fact that the GM and Shane and the head coach and Brian Dable's jobs. Next, we're going to have the Dallas Cowboys versus the New York Jets. Jets is the winless team that I'm talking about. Oh, man, I hate to see it. I love Justin Fields. I love Garrett Wilson. The Jets' defense is not as good. It's just not good. And they have the pieces to have a good defense. Whether we're talking about Gardner, whether we're talking about a Quincy Williams, whether we're talking about a Quinnen Williams, whether we're talking about a Josh Johnson, I think it's on the edge, and whether we're talking about Will McDonald, they have the pieces to be a very good defense. They just aren't. And then offensively, they just can't get any rhythm going. And it sucks that they have some running back injuries, but they just cannot get any rhythm going. And then as far as the Cowboys go, I'm going to leave the Cowboys at that B tier. I think this is a good game for the best game their defense has played all season, let's be honest. Offensively, Dak is playing like an MVP. And they're running the football very effectively. But I'm going to leave the Cowboys at B. Yo, what's up, guys? APW Sports here, and today's video is being brought to you by ExpressVPN. Now, there's a few things I really like about having ExpressVPN. One, I feel protected. Being on the internet a lot as a content creator, or being on the internet period, especially in the 2025 modern era, you're gonna need protections from hackers, you're gonna need protections from your passwords, you're gonna need protections from your vital credit card, vital personal information. ExpressVPN does an excellent job of protecting you. And also, if things happen to slip or if things have been exposed before, you will get alerts to your phone that will let you know that things have been exposed to the dark web and that you should take action. And then another thing that I really like about it is that you can unlock more of Netflix. Now, me personally, if you guys don't know, I am a big WWE fan. And since the WWE has a partnership with Netflix in the international areas, you can get your PLEs, you can get your Raw, SmackDown, NXT, all things WWE on Netflix. Best thing to do, switch your location to say a Canada, to say a United Kingdom, and bam, there you go. You have all your access to your WWE content, and it unlocks more things that necessarily United States does not carry. And that is another thing that I really love about ExpressVPN. So to get yours today and get 3 months free, click the link below and use code APW Sports at checkout to get 3 months free of ExpressVPN. You will not regret that at all. Best investment you will ever make. Protect yourself and unlock more television on Netflix to watch. Now, we're gonna get back to this video. Next is the Tennessee Titans versus the Arizona Cardinals. I am leaving the Titans at D because they got lucky. Let's just be honest. If it wasn't for some stupid errors or stupid plays by the Cardinals, which I'm gonna put at a C, Titans still lose this game. If it wasn't for the DeMarcado blunder of a damn play, if it wasn't for the fumbleitis interception that the Cardinals had, the Cardinals lost this game more than the Titans won it. I would just be honest. The Cardinals shot themselves more in the foot than the Titans did come back and win. Now, I'll give credit to Kale Moore on that last drive to get them in the field goal range to get the win. But it's just the Cardinals shot themselves more in the foot with mistakes and stupid plays than we're talking about the Titans actually coming back and win this game. It's almost like the Cardinals gave them this game on a silver platter. But next, we're going to have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Seattle Seahawks. I'm moving the Tampa Bay Buccaneers up to an S because I really love the way this team is playing. Baker Mayfield is playing like he could potentially be in them MVP conversations. And then we're talking about this defense that's big and opportunistic. Yes, Sarah Darnold had a good day against it, but this was a very opportunistic defense. And as far as the Seahawks go, I'm actually not moving the Seahawks at all. I'm going to keep them at that A tier. Yes, it was a tip ball late that actually cost them the ball game. We were talking about interceptions. The offense is playing good. Defensively, they have some injuries. Reek Woolen went out. They still got after the quarterback a bit. But this was a good game. I'm not going to take anything away from the Seahawks. This is a shootout type of a game. And they were one possible tip mistake away from actually winning this game. And then we're talking about the Bucs. They just continue to win these close games. Baker's playing well. Defense is playing well. Emeka Egbuka from The Ohio State University is looking like the real steal of the draft. And then we're talking about Jackson Smith and Jigby on the other side of the ball from The Ohio State University. Ohio State wide receivers is Ohio State. Yes, it's wide receiver university. But nonetheless, let's move on. Then we're going to talk about the Lions and the Bengals. The Lions, I'm still putting them at, I moved the Jaguars mistakenly. Lions, S tier, and then we're going to talk about the Bengals. Bengals are a D. Defensively, bad. Offensively, Jake Browning, bad. And the Lions that week one is a damn fluke. Offensively, they've just been flowing. Defensively, they're still creating turnovers, still making plays. Lions are, to me, one of the better teams in football. And they have an identity. On offense, they have an identity. Defensively, they're a little bit more aggressive, but they have been making some turnovers and making some plays. So we're going to keep the Lions in S. Next, we're going to have the Commanders and the Chargers. I have the Commanders at A, and the Chargers are moving down to be the way of them losing back-to-back games. Last week against the Giants, they couldn't muster too much offensively. This week, the offense kind of sputters again, and I think a bit of that is the lack of a consistent running game. And defensively, I think a little bit of the pieces are getting a little bit older. I think the reshaping of this defense could be had. Offensively, Justin Herbert, he's kind of been inconsistent for a good portion of his career. In the last 2 games, he just has not played significantly better football than what we've seen in the first 3 games of the season. So, and then like I said, with the Bengals, they just might as well take the season when it comes to that at this point, because they need a lot. Offensive line help, defensive help, they need a lot right now. Joe Burrow was a savior and is showing proof. Then we're going to have the New England Patriots. No, I'd skip that. We're going to go to the Denver Broncos and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Broncos, I had them in B. I'm moving them up to A. This might sound crazy. I am dropping the Eagles to an A. And the problems that they've had finally showed their real ugly heads. Offensively, this Eagles team has been inconsistent all season. And in that second half, they needed to run the football and didn't. Defensively, they've been playing lights out. Defensively, they've been playing well. But that offense has zero identity. They don't run the football. They struggle to do that. They've had some offensive line injuries. Jaylon Hurts in the passing game, outside of a few big plays in the first half, has been struggling. A.J. Brown, as much as he wants to get the football, it's just, you slow down on the route. Let's just be honest. And people are talking about, oh, that was a bad throw by Jaylon. No, he slowed down on the route. So, offensively, they have got to find something going. Defensively, they've been playing well. Offensively, they just got to find something. And Bo Nix with the Broncos, I'm really liking what Sean Payton is doing, developing him. And that defense is one of the top-tier defenses in the league for a reason. It's hard to run the football on this defense. And Nick Bonito, he has to be in the talks for one of the best pass rushers that we have in this league. He has been playing consistent football. He has been getting after the quarterback. He has 7 sacks now in the season. And we're only through 5 games. And he has 7 sacks. You have to talk about him as one of the best defensive players in the league, along with his teammate, Patrick Surtain. This Broncos defense is elite. And then you pair that with an offense that has been playing well with Bo Nix and J.K. Dobbins on the running game from The Ohio State University. This Broncos team is going to be very scary. Then we get to the Sunday night game with the Bills and the Patriots. Bills, I still have them at an S, but they have a flaw, and that is their run defense. Their run defense is the biggest flaw of this football team. And then it didn't help that they turned the football over 3 times. With the picks, with the Josh Allen pick and then he fumbles, and then I think it was the next snap fumble. They killed themselves with the turnovers. And then we're talking about a Patriots team. I'm moving them up to an A, believe it or not. I've always said the Patriots is probably going to be one of those teams that's in the competition with the Buffalo Bills in this division, and he showed it. Stephon Diggs broke out, looked like prime Stephon Diggs. Drake May really managed his game very well. And this Patriots defense, coached by Vrabel, is nothing to sleep on. We're talking about Carlton Davis, Christian Gonzalez. We're talking about Milton Williams, who has been a big presence up front. Ellis at the linebacker position has been making plays. I'm really liking where this Patriots team has been so far this season. And Drake May might have something special on our hands. Last but not least, we have the Chiefs versus the Jaguars. I had both of these teams at the A tier. And the way the Jaguars are playing, I'm going to keep the Jaguars there. But I'm moving the Chiefs down, believe it or not. And gamers, I think Trevor Lawrence should start and take this next step. Yeah, the Jaguars really sat in zone a ton of the night, which enabled the Chiefs. And, of course, I will be honest, the refs kind of got involved. The pass interference on the McDuffie pick should have been called. And it was one of those games that it could have been, it was a statement win for the Jacksonville Jaguars to get a ball game like this, and the way that they won it with the last drive, with that whole stepped on by the guard, Trevor Lawrence getting in for the touchdown. Defensively, the Jaguars made some plays with the Devin Lloyd pick 6. I just think for the Chiefs, I think they've been a bit inconsistent where it's, okay, the offense is having a solid game. They ran the football decently. Defensively, it's kind of been hit or miss. Or whether it's the offense not playing well, but the defense is playing well. I think over this year they've been inconsistent, and we're talking about the Jaguars. They're not a cakewalk anymore. Liam Cohen has got this football team playing really good football defensively. I like what they're doing. They got to get after the pass a little bit more, but I think offensively, they're starting to click and they're starting to get some rhythm. So I'm starting to like where the Jaguars are going at 4-1. But those are my thoughts of the power rankings for this week. I know you guys are going to have a lot to say about it. Leave your thoughts in the comments. And as well, leave this video a like. I'm trying to get to 6K before the end of 2025. So leaving it a like will help tremendously. And also click the subscribe button, notification bell, so you're not missing anything that I post. But I'm APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe. Have a great next day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.